What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm trying a different recording setup with a higher resolution for my phone, although it might not be the same because this is pre-recorded gameplay. Maybe the recorded gameplay looks better. If it does, great. Maybe I'll do like a fight or two at the end of this video to see if there is a difference in the gameplay. But today's video is going to be an overview of my newest, well at this point not even my newest, but one of my newest rank 3 champions, 7-star Spiral. Now, Spiral came out last year along with Dazzler, and I have loved Spiral ever since she was released. I love her funky combo mechanic with like the different inputs and building up to the max fervor. And personally, I like the special one spam because I think that's the most fun. And I like that because it's the most bang for your buck in my opinion. But obviously you can do whatever loop you want with Spiral and find, success with her doing basically anything. So I have a couple of fights here of varying health pool ranges. We have some shorter form content, some medium form, and then some longer form health pools. No Everest content in this video. I have made a video in the past about trying Spiral in Necropolis, and she can work there, but she does need like a full synergy team, so it's a little unrealistic. But for longer form content, I do actually think Spiral is fine. I think she would work fairly well. So this is going to be the Serpent Gauntlet on the CCP test map here with my rank 3 Unawakened Spiral. And you're going to see that she handles Serpent beautifully. She is easily the best Serpent counter we have available right now. I don't really think it's a debate. She just turns off everything this guy does on defense and uses it against him, like the power gain and the Fury. She uses the power gain to steal more power, and then she turns the Fury into Rebel. So it's just neat. And then I got hit there, but it didn't even matter because the Dancing Blades killed him in 40 seconds. So let's go fight the next Serpent here. This is 500,000 health? Yeah, 550,000 health Serpent here. And again, it's just the same loop. For Spiral, for Serpent specifically, should I say, I think Special 1 spam is the way to go because of the increased power gain. You're just cycling those Special 1s consistently and stealing so much power when Serpent has that power gain buff that you can probably get like 4, maybe 5 if you're really good. 5 if you're lucky, I should say. Special 1's off before you run out of that max fervor chain. So, yeah, you can stack up to 40 or so Ruptures and just deal so much damage. Because you're controlling Serpent so much and you're knocking him down frequently, he's not able to get that resistance up passive, which means the damage that your Ruptures are dealing is not being prevented by that resistance. So, Serpent is taking the full damage from those Ruptures, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. Now I throw a Special 2, and those Ruptures are paused. I throw the Dancing Blades. After I dex this Special 2, or no, I just parry the Special 2 because the Dancing Blades missed for whatever reason. So, yeah, I think it was just me throwing it into the special attack that caused the Dancing Blades to miss. That was on me. That was not on Spiral. So, don't throw Dancing Blades into special attacks. Just wait and either throw it after a special or throw it as they're getting up, and then they're going to hit, and Serpent or any champion with death, immunity, immortality, indestructible will die. So this is the big Serpent here, the 1.1 million health Serpent in the CCP test map. Again, it's just the same loop here. With Spiral, every action that you do that is a unique action, so if you do a light attack followed by a medium attack, every time you do an action like that, light, medium, if you follow that chain, you're going to build up a Fervor passive on yourself. And that Fervor is increasing the ability accuracy of your Ruptures that are applied on all of your sword attacks by 600%. I believe it's a 1% chance at base, and then each Fervor. So you don't have to necessarily worry about getting the max Fervor chain for Serpent because it's going to be so easy to build up by just playing casually. By just doing light, medium combos, you're going to build up to that max, no problem. You're not going to have to stress about it, and it's going to be golden. It's going to be absolutely golden. So, again, this is a 1.1 million health Serpent here, and we're just absolutely rocking this guy. No problem here. Now we've finally lost the Fervor chain after like 4 special ones. Serpent is already down to 30% health, and again, we're just still cycling these special ones, building up all those Ruptures. All of those Ruptures are adding to Inequity as well, so it's reducing the damage that I take on block. I also just got clipped there, and so the damage was reduced even further. Because not only are those Ruptures applying inequity to the opponent, but Serpent no longer has his Fury buff because I removed it and turned it into Rebel at the start of the fight. So now we're pushing Serpent to his death immunity with my special 2 here, and then I toss my Dancing Blades right into his face, and there Serpent goes. 1.1 million health in 1 minute and 41 seconds. Now, one thing I love about Spiral is her fervors are not affected by ability accuracy reduction, which means that when fighting champions with glancing, if you build up enough fervors, you just get around glancing. So that makes Spiral pretty decent for Maestro. Now, you're going to see that I build up to my max fervor chain right now after that parry. I throw one special 1 here, and already Maestro is down 20%. I've barely started ramping. Like, the ramp up has barely started. And look at that. He has the glancing, but I'm still applying all of my ruptures, and I'm still stealing that power. So, Spiral is just so good. She really is just incredible. She does not need the opponent to have buffs to be super effective. As you can see, Maestro only has 1 buff here, and he's dead already. He's already dead. You don't need buffs on the opponent for Spiral to be super effective. It's just nice when you have buffs on the opponent. Here's a matchup where I shouldn't let the opponent gain any buffs. That's Gallon. So this is a 7-star rank 3 Gallon, a short form health pool Gallon. And you're going to see that with proper Spiral play, you can just prevent the opponent from throwing a special and kill them with a couple of special 1 spams. It's kind of ridiculous. Now, I was definitely trying to bait a special here because if I let Gallon get some buffs, the potency of my Ruptures would increase. But obviously, I don't want to give Gallon too many buffs because then that becomes a problem. But as you can see, every time I dex when I have the Dancing Blades active, I actually give the opponent the dex buff. And then when I parry, I turn that dex buff into Rubble, and that Rubble lasts for a very long time, which increases the potency of all my Ruptures. There's Gallon in 39 seconds. This is a matchup that's pretty interesting for Spiral. Not necessarily the matchup that you would think that she'd do well in, but this is a Sentinel. So Sentinel just recently got buffed in the Glorious Guardians rework series that happened towards the end of 2024, and I love Sentinel. He's a great champion on offense and defense. He is very much so annoying on defense now, very much so more annoying than he was prior. Just a lot more tanky, a lot more defensive threats, a lot more immunities. But Spiral can handle this guy fairly well because all of her damage is primarily coming from those Ruptures ticking over time. And then, of course, she's getting that attack increase from the beam hits of her special attacks because of the Ruptures on the opponent. So even if they don't crit, they're still dealing upwards of, 10,000 damage if you get lucky on some white numbers here. And again, the more Ruptures you have, the higher those white numbers go. And even without baiting another special here, we get Sentinel from his 15% threshold where he gains all those armors to 0. There he goes, rank 3 Sentinel in 55 seconds, 100% health remaining. Now, another great showcase of some of Spiral's utility is against Red Skull. So, Spiral, if you did not know, she is immune to Falter, and the ability accuracy of the stun debuff of her personal stun effects is increased by 100%. So, parrying Red Skull, you have no problem getting the stun off because your stun ability accuracy is increased by 100% when using Spiral. So, even when Red Skull has 10 armors, you still have a 100% chance to apply that stun, because Red Skull's armors reduce your stun ability accuracy by 10%, but if you have 200% stun ability accuracy, it only goes down to 100%, and 100% is obviously guaranteed. Additionally, Red Skull stacking 10 armors here is great for Spiral, because even though Red Skull is gaining some resistance from those armors, you are still increasing the potency of your Ruptures for every buff on the opponent. So Red Skull gets absolutely annihilated. Now, one last fight here, at least for right now. I might go fight Winter Soldier with Spiral just for kicks and giggles. I was thinking of a family-friendly way to say that. This is Enchantress. So, I could be wrong in this assessment here, but I believe Spiral is stealing more power from Enchantress because that is a power gain passive. Now, I don't know if it's supposed to be a power gain buff that increases the potency of her power steal. It might be, but if it is a passive as well, like if passive is applicable, then that makes Spiral even better. And I feel like I am gaining a significant amount of power. Like, comparatively speaking, I feel like I'm getting way more power from the power steal than I would be in a normal matchup. So I'm thinking that the power gain passive is counting for the power steal. just like Serpent's power gain buff would. So I go for the counter there, I go for a knockdown, and then I try to get off a special 1 or a special 2 here. I think I go for a special 2 to try and finish. With only 10 Ruptures, we still deal quite a bit of damage, but again, not as high as it would be if I had kept some of those earlier Ruptures. But we land a nice intercept, throw the Ghost Rider Relic, and there goes Enchantress. Handled by Spiral in just a minute. Not great, not the best matchup for Spiral. I don't think that's the match you want to be using Spiral in for the most part. But I do want to see if the gameplay looks better with this sort of new setup, this new resolution, and I can do a couple of fights in Realm of Legends with Spiral, just doing some live gameplay to end off the video here. Hopefully it does look better, and of course you guys can let me know down in the comments. Please let me know if it does look better than previous videos, because I am trying a new setup and a new sort of resolution attempt here. So with Spiral, again, the gameplay loop is, I don't want to say super simple, because it's not necessarily simple doing all these alternative combos. You kind of have to play Spiral as if the opponent always has Mixmaster. But the good thing is you don't have to worry about evade, because it's not Mixmaster. It's just Spiral's rotation. So now I've maxed out my Fervor by doing light, medium combos, and now the goal is to spam Special 1 maybe 2 to 3 times, and if I want to keep spamming Special 1, then obviously I can. Throw the Dancing Blades. But if I want to throw 2 to 3 Special 1s and then a Special 2, that should kill most opponents of this health pool range with no relative problem. Let's throw the Dancing Blades again. Get another Special 1 off. Pause the Fervors. And already we're dealing, that was like 100,000 damage on that Special 1 there. And one more Special 1 should do it here. This is the 4th Special 1 of the matchup. Winter Soldier just didn't want to throw special attacks, but that's fine. He goes down in 55 seconds, 550,000 health. No big deal. One last fight, we'll fight Captain Marvel just for the hell of it. And yeah, that'll be it for the Spiral Showcase. But let me know what you guys think of Spiral. I love her. I think she's super fun. Obviously, she's a very hard Serpent counter, like that's what she's geared to do, but I find that she's extremely useful elsewhere as long as you know how to use her and you're comfortable ramping her up, you're comfortable using these alternative combos, you're comfortable with your animations. I think she's an extremely useful character and a breath of fresh air for the Mystic class. I do think that Mystic wasn't necessarily hurting, per se. I think Mystic was doing very well in 2024, but I think Mystic was in for a brand new sort of character that brings in a fresh mechanic, like the Rubble and the Destroy buff that Destroyer introduced, just in a different way, and I think Spiral does that very well. I think she just evolves on the ideas that Destroyer has sort of laid out very nicely, and I love her. She is very likely to be my first Mystic rank 4 7-star. Even unawakened, I just love Spiral so much. So, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button and also hitting like. Both of those things are incredibly helpful for the channel, and it pushes the word out there to the YouTube algorithm that I'm making content people are enjoying. Once again, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.